the other flip side too, there is a lot which is going on, and today I was telling my teachers we need to learn a lesson from what is going on in Nigeria with religion. Ghana is really treading on a very, very dangerous ground that when we set that precedent and we are not careful, there is a clause that if we set that precedent and we are not very careful, that religious thing that has started in our various schools can trigger on and come into our societies, and we are in big problem. So I'm begging GES and the heads of assisted secondary schools and the non-assisted secondary schools to treat this matter very, very, very carefully so it doesn't escalate into something else. Because I teach in a Muslim school and there are Christians in there. We do everything together. We've been doing things together since independence. So even in societies, you can't even differentiate between a Christian and a Muslim. But now, today this, today that, blah, blah, court issues and blah. So, Sika, I've been very, very worried this particular week because of but I'm praying by the end of the court case, something peaceful is going to come out of whatever is happening.
Well, some issues are quite sensitive, and
very. There
are some topics that I always find it. One has to really take their time in addressing them.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to religion and politics,
with caution,
and you really have to tread carefully, because if you are not careful. And if you are not constructive, and sometimes you don't approach it with some level of open-mindedness, you might pass certain judgments, and it might, in the end, cause something that we wouldn't be able to recover from anytime soon. So with this whole religion and the school thing going on, I see lots of people making arguments for their various religions. I've seen some submissions from Muslims, and they are also like, you have to include us, we have to get a mosque, we have to find a place. And I think this whole conversation, some people are really getting it wrong, because I don't think the Muslims or the non-Christians are asking for them to build an edifice for them. No. They just want to have the liberty.
Allow them to practice their religion.
Practice it as and when it's needed.
Because
when you take, for me, I attended Fujai Senior High School, and during my time at Fujai Senior High School, during fasting, we left food for the Muslims, those who are fasting. We left food for them. They were not, during my time, there was never any point where they were forced not to fast. They were forced to eat their dinner at the time we are supposed to eat dinner. Their food were reserved for them. And I remember in my room, I had about 2 Muslim ladies in my room. They brought their own mats. They were allowed to lay their mats and worship and pray anytime they want to. Mostly it's in the evening. They were allowed to pray. There wasn't any time a house mistress came and said, you don't have to pray, Muslims don't have to do this or that. There was nothing. And I actually, the innocent me thought that it was the same across senior high schools. It was after senior high school that I got to know that there are some schools you are not allowed, especially the mission schools, you are not allowed. And later, I even got to know that in some Islamic senior high schools, the Christians are also not allowed to gather and pray.
Yes.
Amongst the comments and submissions going on social media, somebody from, I think the person attended Islamic senior high school, and they were, explaining how things were for them. And the person said he was the SU president. And there was a time they were told that they should stop speaking in tongues, they should stop, they literally are too loud with their prayers and all. So at a point, they were not even able to gather and then pray. But then here is a case where this same group of people want
the freedom in
you get it. So that's why I'm saying this issue is some way. But I don't think this should be something that we should be having lots of back and forth on. And every institution has its own values, and especially when it comes to these missionary schools. And I think there are some things that we should just let them be. We shouldn't really stress it so much, because I feel the more we do it, it sort of creates this...
The tension, there is some tension. Right now, there is tension around you, but we are not seeing it. Ghanaians are very, very peaceful, that we know how to deal with tension. Right now, when you go onto social media, there is tension. When you go to some communities where these schools are situated, there is tension. But because we are peaceful people, you don't usually see. God really has blessed Ghana with so much patience that we are patient with everything.
A part of me is a little bit scared because this is how it started in some countries. This is how it started. The conversation started like this, and then later on, it became very huge.
That's why I said,
big.
if we are not careful and it moves from our schools into our communities, that is where we would.
I mean, we are a country that prides ourselves in being united and
tolerant.
Exactly, tolerant.
We have been tolerant from.
Because here, Salah, Christians even enjoy the Salah. 31st night. You see Muslims, they will come and dance, praise and worship, and then they go.
I remember I've taken a Muslim lady to 31st night before.
You see?
A Muslim lady, full Muslim.
You see?
To 31st night before.
So these things, either you're so sort of too much, I know, there are some things we should just let them be.
I remember, I think there was a time the chief imam went to a church, I think a Catholic church, or a pastor went.
We live in a country where
very common.
We live
with the chief imam.
Yes, we live in a country where the chief imam is like one of the most respected leaders, religious leaders here.
Yeah. So
we have people from all walks of life going to him to greet him, let him pray for them and all of that. We've seen bishops, Catholic bishop, Methodists, they all come together.
Recently, we had National Day of Prayer, right?
Yes.
Where all religious, beliefs came together to pray for the nation and all that.
On Friday, I remember at Sekendi Tako, they did it at Sekendi.
Yeah.
The Methodist Park. The Muslims did theirs.
Yeah.
They also... We
Together.
live in a country where when we are having a meeting, the Christian will say a prayer in the beginning. When the meeting is done, the Muslim will also end it.
I like my school.
That's it.
You get it? So when these things get intense, it becomes quite.
And as a matter of fact, this thing, we are poisoning the children too. We think whilst they are in school, they don't hear whatever is going, the debate going on outside. They get to hear of it.
Yeah.
Their parents tell them whatever is happening. So amongst them, you see, you are creating that tension between the Christians and the non-Christians inside the school. So it's a very, very, very worrying situation. And I'm worried.
I think we should find a way about. If not, then if you are so bent on practicing your religious beliefs, then maybe you should go where you are accepted. Maybe
it's that easy.
You get it.
It's that easy.
If not, if you are also not okay with it, if you are okay with it, you can just go, because at the end of the day, you went there to study. It's for education, for books and all of that. You can close your eyes and then go through it. You get it. That is also there.
Is that
you
simple?
Get it. But I'm sure. I don't really want to.
There should be a way.
That's why the court is there, So this particular case that is in court, I believe that by the end of the whole proceedings, what is to be done will be done, and Ghana will move on peacefully.
But I think for the core missionary schools, it will be difficult to.
Very difficult.
Yes, it will be difficult, because if you also have a core Islam, just as others have been also telling their stories of how they went to Islamic schools, and they were basically asked to read you have to recite the Quran and all of that. So when you go to a Christian school, the same thing is going to happen to you.
If you have time, I would have used my school as an example. My school is a Muslim school, and the morning assembly, the prayer is said in
Christian prayer.
In Islam.
But
we have a morning hymn that sometimes we sing. But that one, you can sing any song, but you don't have to use the word Jesus in it. So all those places that there are Jesus in it, they put something else, Muhammad in there. Wow. And it will surprise you that there are songs that I used to sing in my Sunday school. The kids sing it, but when they get to the Jesus part, they put Muhammad in there. So it's almost the same thing. You don't even feel it. There are Christians there. We mix together. There are Christian teachers, Christian Muslims. We mix together. We eat together. We do everything together.
I think
so why now?
No, you see what you're saying.
But this thing, not even why now. I think it's been there, because this thing is all students have been saying, because now we have social media and the world has advanced, so people are able to share their stories briefly. I mean, across. So people are also telling their stories. So it's always been there. It's always been there. Just that now it's being more amplified for people to also get to know about it. But this one, I'm just praying that it doesn't get out of hand.
I think Ghana is stronger than that.
It doesn't get out of hand.
Become a problem.
Let's hope and pray. Let's open. And it's very bad over there. So terrible.
Oh yeah. I see they are being passed to Ghana. And the immigration officers at the border to allegedly are taking they're not sacking them. Allegedly. Let me repeat allegedly they are taking 50 CDs
from them.
It's messed up, but in all of it, let's hope for the best. Whatever judgment is going to come. If the crack and say at the end of the day we are Jamobi Abetina Obiabeko baby.
And that's it.
Muslim are called Muslims, Christian, and that wouldn't help.
Is that easy?
That is the thing. That is also not good.
Let me say this. You see, I want to give a very simple narrative right now. Now, I have the privilege of being part of this program. You understand? I believe there are rules and regulations guiding this program. So for me to be part of this program for how long, whatever period I want to be, I think it is best for everybody that I follow the rules and the regulations guiding this program, and everybody will be happy. You know, so it's not difficult for a child to go to school for 3 years and have to abide
for 3 years
and have to abide by certain rules guiding that particular institution. I don't think it should be something so impossible. So if you think it's impossible, then move to the next.
And you know, sometimes I think in the Wegehe issue too, it gets to a point where you are sort of chastised for being from a different religious background, for having a different religious beliefs. That's what I'm saying. People bringing out and throwing submissions on this issue haven't really read the actual thing that is going on. You get it? They haven't really read. Yes, they haven't really read the document. So people are just saying things anyhow. If you want to pray in school and then go to Islamic school, we cannot move with that narrative. We cannot. But you know, what the same? Yes, how I am aboko. Let's just see. At this point, we can talk and type on social media, but I'm hoping that whatever the outcome is going to be, you know, is going to serve the interest of everybody. And those people going around saying Ghana is a Christian country. Ghana is not a Christian country. Ghana is a secular country. We practice more than one religion. So you see, somebody was also saying, okay, so if we allow the Muslims to pray and do, you know, practice their religious beliefs and all, are we going to do same for traditionalists? Because the Constitution also recognizes traditional religion. Our major religions in Ghana are 3: Christian, Muslim, and then the traditional religion. So if we are going to say, okay, let's say, the Muslims or people from the Islamic faith can also practice their religious beliefs in school, on campus. Should the tradition, so does that mean that the traditionalists can also go to school and decide to offer libation? Are we going to be okay with it?
Beautiful. So when it comes to like that, I think every institution,
that is also the part where that scares the stakeholders. Because if we are going to open the gate for what?
Yes.
Buddhist and
exactly. Hinduism is also quite popular in Ghana.
People will be chanting.
We'll be having shrines. There will be a church on campus, a mosque on campus, a shrine on campus.
Every institution is unique.
Is that how we are going to? Is that that's also another thing we have to look at.
I wanted to say something. I used to teach in Dabuasa village. There was a village in Dabuasa I used to teach, and there was one boy who was under training for Akom. You call it Akom, and it comes at any time. So I think yes. So I think they used when it comes, they use powder and this thing dust. So the parents have brought that powder and the dust is in the head teacher's office, and the teacher
so
knows
anytime it happens,
it comes to just sprinkle it on the boy, and the boy will come down. Then they will call the parents.
They'll
and
come
they
for her.
Yes, everybody. They all know. They love the boy so much that anytime that when you go to the office, you see probably you think it's for the head teacher. If you don't ask, you think the ABO head teacher and but it's for.
Sako not to be Kowege.
I wanted to make a point.
But
it's a primary school though.
You see, this some of our early schools, Wege, Adi School, Upokwari, GSTS. We shouldn't just look at them at they are all second cycles. Each of them are unique.
Yeah.
They are all unique. The uniqueness comes from the founding fathers.
Yeah.
You know, so out of that uniqueness, they have a written document for that particular.
Before you go,
there's actually an MOU between the missionary schools and government.
But the parents don't know this.
That's the thing. They don't know. So, this whole thing is also unveiling so many things.
Yes.
It's unraveling so many things. People don't know because these schools were once private.
Yes.
The government had to come in at a point. They were built by missionaries.
Yes.
So they are missionary schools. So
I think it boils down to education. Parents should be educated when they are choosing schools for their work. These MOUs and stuff, they should bring.
And also, we are in an era of diversity and tolerance. So you also have to be open enough. You have to tolerate. You get it?
Tolerance is where tolerance is where you can still tolerance is where we can still admit you, even though we're a typical Christian school. Tolerance is where a typical Christian school, but we can admit a Muslim. Yes, we can admit
we are going to
allow the Muslim to practice the religion.
No.
But
that is not tolerance. That's not tolerance. That one too is not tolerance.
Okay, as a country, we say we are religiously tolerant. Doesn't mean that one has to copy. No, we stay. The Muslims are doing their thing. We are all one in Ghana. They are doing their thing. We are happy. When we meet outside, we are together. When we go inside, you practice your thing. I practice my thing.
As a country,
no, so it's the same thing. But when you are in the school.
So in the school, the Christian school is not going to allow you to practice your belief.
That is
the difference.
That is it.
So that one too, when that one happens, it's not tolerant. It's not. You are not being tolerant. No.
What if the school says that I won't admit a Muslim?
Then they've drawn the line.
Yeah. So
exactly. So it's either you don't go. So the thing is, it's either you don't go. You don't go at all, or you go and then you follow their rules. Simple. That is how it is.
There was a time. I think last year or last 2 years, TTI they made a statement that they were not going to admit Muslim students from Efiokuma again.
Whoa.
Why? Because
the school is in Efiokuma.
Yes, because they noticed that most of the boys that were causing problems were Muslims from the Muslim area. Community.
Really?
Yes. So they
had proper data to back that.
And it was obvious. So they invited all the imams and they talked to them and
they had a dialogue.
They were able to resolve the issue. And now,
yes.
Oh wow! I didn't even know about that.
Yes, it happened. Just
to me,
so religion, education, social life,
is sensitive.
Those topics there.
But as a country, how far we have come, we overcome this one. Don't worry.
Hopefully we do. You can also share your thoughts with us in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on the ongoing discourse on social media and everywhere. Drop your comments below. Now let's get